Guys, welcome back to the Desert Road. Today is a very special day. I'm so excited to bring you my new daily driver, this 2023 Audi RS6. It's been many months, maybe even years of circulating around my head. It's definitely been my dream car for a while. I'm sure if you've been following us, you saw that I just came out of a 23 X5 M50i. Also just a fantastic car. I've owned it for 6 months, but this spec came up. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it, let you know why I particularly loved this car, why I'm switching up cars, and just do a quick first impressions of this ride. I wanna give an honest review what it's like to drive this day to day as a daily driver with my family, couple kids, take this on road trips, and just the pros and cons of owning a car like this. So if you're ready, let's begin and go around the car. Guys, before we get into the first impressions, I wanted to remind you, if you're curious to know how I'm able to get in and out of cars just like this RS6 every couple months, 6 months to a year typically, click the link below, therulacars.com. We teach you exactly what I do to get into cars like this without losing basically any money. Let's go. All right. Getting back into it, first impressions of this car. This car, as you can see, it's a rare color. It's an ultra blue. There's only 125 of these made. This is a 23. They only made this color in 22 and 23. It's discontinued for 24. There's only about 125 of these in the United States. I absolutely love it. Blue is typically not my type of color in a car. This is the first blue car I've owned. I was looking for a black or nardo gray one, but I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm still debating what I'm gonna do to the exterior, whether there's gonna be some lowering. I might powder coat these wheels in black. I might switch up the wheels. We'll see. But as I mentioned previously, this is my all-around family car, so I don't wanna jank this up too much, especially from the daily driver standpoint. Again, the RS6 has been a dream car of mine ever since they were in Europe. I've always wanted to get my hands on one. Once they were announced that they're coming to the US, I mean, I absolutely melted inside. It's been a dream. I absolutely love wagons. You know, just the presence and these cars, especially with a 600 horsepower on the road, is truly amazing. It makes a wonderful all-in-one car with the driving dynamics of a sedan. So come around with me, I'll show you some of what this has. So this car specifically, I did not want the carbon package on the exterior, so this just has the black panels on the side, the front, and the rear. Same thing here with the black mirrors. This comes with the upgraded 22-inch wheels, non-carbon ceramics as well. I did not want carbon ceramics for a daily driver. I've had them on a few previous cars. They tend to be overly grabby and I've never enjoyed them on daily cars. You can see these brakes are massive as they are. It stops well. Some people complain that they don't think this has enough stopping power, but unless I'm at the track or doing drag races, this has all the stopping power that I need. 22-inch wheels, 22-inch tires. These tires are great. There's a couple different variants that Audi puts on them, so it's either these Hankooks that they put on or P0s. Both the options in the 22-inch size come with the insulating foam for noise reduction. We'll talk a little bit about that on our drive. Walking around, when I got this car, did not have any tint on it. Immediately I did tint, 20% all around. I left the windshield untinted. It gets very dark here in Arizona. I wanted to be able to see out the front. Again, no carbon here on the back. It's just a nice black diffuser. I think looks very clean, especially against the black exhaust tips. This is the sport exhaust, so I think all that the sport exhaust does is give you these black tip finishers. Works very well with the rear end of the car. As you can see, there's already a custom plate on there with a double meaning in ways. What it stands for is an ultra blue RS6, but to an unknown driver, it almost looks like what this is a car that Uber 6, you know, so I don't know, take it for what it is. What's your opinion of what you would think when you would see that? So I like it. It might stay, it might go, I'm not sure about that. So let's walk around. As you can see, again, just very nice color. The shade of blue almost leans purple-ish in the shade on the other side. The camera might be able to pick it up. In bright sunlight, I mean, it has a really nice, bright pearlescent metallic effect. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love this color. And again, the direction Audi is going, I like the sleeper look. I mean, even what they've been doing is just blacking out even the rings. I mean, they're not showy or overly showy in any way. I mean, we don't have these light up badges here and like all this dazzling crap like Mercedes starts putting on some of their cars. Just very understated, clean, classy look, very aggressive. I absolutely love this. Let me show you some of the standout features of this car, okay? One of them, this is not a small car. As you can see, this back door is very roomy, and it actually has tons of space in the back seats. So for hauling kids around or sticking child seats in there, it's no problem at all with something like that. So very awesome. I don't need to adjust my front seats at all with kids behind me. The X5 was a bit too small in the back seat department. So this really accommodates families and children and child seats in here very, very well. So that's benefit number one. Now again, family benefit number two, come take a look at this trunk. I'm gonna open this up. It is, as you can see, it's very deep and very roomy. I mean, you know, I got a basket, there's a stroller. I'm able to get all the groceries in here that I can ever want. I mean, it's truly fantastic. This is a big trunk. This cover right here, the first I had in any car, you know, when the trunk closes, this actually slides down and closes it up. You can also go ahead and pull this out and remove it completely if you want to stack it up with the luggage, but amazing, you know, plenty of room here. Just really, really no complaints with the trunk space or the rear seat space. So it really is a car that can accommodate families shuffling around and getting all your junk in here. So fairly amazing. Let's jump inside, talk more about some of the features of this. All right, jumping into the interior, one of the things I want to highlight first, without really giving you my final thoughts of everything, is the first thing you notice is the overall absolutely phenomenal build quality of everything in here. Everything is so rock solid and so buttoned up. I mean, this has the full leather package. You got the door wrapped, you got the dash here fully wrapped in that, the arm, the doors are everything is wrapped in leather, and it feels like everything is just made out of one solid block. Couple more tidbits, you got this kind of matte carbon look here. Some people think it looks overly cheap. I like it for the difference between the typical gloss carbon that everybody puts in there. It almost starts feeling outdated to me. So this is kind of a modern rendition of that. The lighting in here is absolutely fantastic, especially at night. You can see the quilted seats. These are the sports seats. There's actually a comfort seat that you can get in here. I've only seen it on literally like one RS6 I came across, very rare. So these are the seats you typically find in here. This does have the RS design package in here. As you can see, it comes with the Alcantara wheel, the Alcantara shifter, and the Alcantara panels right there. So couple extra design touches, definitely gives you a little bit more of that sport in here that some people are looking for. So the other thing, so let me give you a couple other gripes. So these seats, my gripes, this interior, so this bolster right here, the thigh extender is a manually adjustable one. So it's like everything else is power, why do that? And these seats don't offer a massage function. So I think Audi really dropped the ball on that. Even our last S4 had the massaging seats. So that's something that I would have liked to see. Outside of that, these seats are fairly supportive. You cannot adjust any of these bolsters on here. I would have liked some bolster adjustability. They're fixed, especially in a car like this. All right, let's go over some of these interior features and what I find likable and dislikable here a little bit more. If I had to nitpick, I mean, these cup holders absolutely suck. Very shallow. I don't like this placement right here. You know, if you're putting tall water bottles, I mean, it's just, there's no good space to even like put your phone inside the car. I have a water bottle right here. As you can see, it's very annoying, very, very slim. You know, you got to be careful getting stuff in there. So this car does not give you ample storage space, especially up front. Glove box is tiny on here as well. So storage is a concern. One feature this car doesn't have that I would have liked for it to have is the upgraded Bang & Olufsen with the pop-up tweeters. This has the standard Bang & Olufsen. It's all right. It doesn't do wonders. it's adequate enough. It's not terrible. I would have liked that. The other feature, so Audi cut the ball on this, is I would have liked to see standard Alcantara on here. So that would have really kind of completed the premium feel and look of this interior even more so. Outside of that, you can see there's the double roofs right here. Only this one opens up right here. The other one is just a shade. Fantastic. You can get some light in here. Outside of that, a lot of people have gripes with the touchscreen, especially for temperature controls. Having used this for a couple weeks, I absolutely love this. It's very easy to control, to modulate. It's always on. You don't need to go through menus to find it. It has everything you need right here. Heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, just at the top of your button. You can even have some quick access if you swipe, do some swipage over here, right here, and then you can go up, you can go down. So you got all that if you want to control that with these. So this system doesn't bother me at all. What does bother me slightly is that it takes up so much room here that it doesn't give you absolutely any storage space. Works fantastic in every other regard. Apple CarPlay, you know, seamless, fantastic, beautiful, gorgeous screens. I have zero issues with this overall. The other gripe people have, I haven't noticed it as much. Almost everybody seems to hate on this piano black trim going all around here. People always complain of fingerprints or whatever not. I never touch these areas. I'm not sure what all the griping is about. It's here as well. A lot of people apply some matte film over this to kind of prevent that issue, but I've never had a single fingerprint anywhere on here. Okay, let's go for a quick drive, just give you just very initial impressions of how this drives and wrap it up. All right, guys, moving into the driving portion of this car. Initial impressions, I mean, is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can see where the money went into the engineering and the ride quality of this car. It sits on 22-inch wheels. First of all, there's absolutely zero to no road or tire noise of any sort. This car has insulated dual pane windows on the front and back of the window. So interior noise is really kept down to a minimum. Audi has really refined this car. In the auto mode, I mean, it just does such a fantastic job kind of balancing out the entire road surface, and it's almost like you're floating down the road without the car feeling floaty. It's a very great, sublime, almost a perfect driving experience where it's not overly involved. I mean, you're not like jittering or overcorrecting the car at any time, and simultaneously it's still providing you an engaging ride even while you're just cruising. Now, again, let me get this out of the way. Do I think it's an overly extremely fun to drive car like some other cars, smaller cars can be? Absolutely not. This is not something that just kind of giving you a blast on four wheels. What this is, it's a very supremely luxury cruiser that can turn into more of a sport missile with a couple tweaks of some of the settings here. That was driving it around an auto. Okay, and then you have your drive select settings here. You have dynamic, and then you have customizable modes that you can program to RS1 and RS2, right? So I basically programmed RS2 is very similar to dynamic for me. We can throw it into dynamic. The baffles open up. It gets a little bit louder. A lot of people complain of just even in the dynamic or the most aggressive mode, this car is just still too sedate or not aggressive enough. And I absolutely agree with that. They lean this way closer to a kind of daily driver, just a comfortable, fast daily driver than something overly aggressive or just very on edge, which this is not. I actually prefer it this way. To me, it's a giant pro hauling around the family, going on road trips. I'm not looking for this to be a substitute for a weekend fun toy, but what I did want is an all-in-one car that can haul the family around, and then simultaneously you can go have a little bit of fun in the twisties if you would like. Speaking of the twisties, this car has one of the best features. I've never had this on any other car. It's got rear wheel steering. It makes turning in here an absolute joy. I mean, the car just revolves around you once you're taking turns. Never does this feel overly big to me. The downside of that though, in normal day-to-day driving, the steering input is overly kind of sensitive and very direct. So not that you got to overcorrect this car, but it gives it that just slight bit of twitchiness that translates your inputs directly to the front wheels. So not a big problem. You adjust to it very, very quick, and rear wheel steering is definitely one of the best features to have, especially in a car of this size. Couple other pointers. It took me a little bit to get adjusted jumping from an SUV into a much lower to the ground car. It feels somewhat weird after driving a car that's higher up. And again, you definitely have more of the on-road dynamics of a lower gravity car, which again puts a little bit more fun into the car itself. All right, so to kind of wrap it up, it's been so far, I haven't found almost any shortcomings with this car. It's able to haul the family, get the groceries. It's a fantastic freeway cruiser. It's been probably one of the best cars I've ever owned. It really lives up to the hype of being the all-in-one car, and it's got such good on-road presence. I mean, people do double takes of what this is because you don't see wagons around too much anymore, and especially just 600 horsepower wagons. Very awesome. I'm very happy with this purchase. Just a fantastic all-in-one. I can't wait to bring you guys the full review of this car to summarize even more of what I've enjoyed, what I've despised, and anything in between on this. As always, till next time on the desert road.